Welcome back to the PDR Coach podcast. Today on the podcast, we have Christopher Ray, hands down one of the best businessmen in this industry, no doubt about it. From his knowledge of PDR to running a shop to growing YouTube channel, video marketing, training techs, hiring techs, running a fully systematized CRM system. I'll just stop there. That's a lot, but this dude knows his shit. We have spent way too many hours, I don't know, a lot of hours on the phone discussing how to move this industry forward and help make it what we want it to be. Welcome to the show, man. What's going on?
Oh man, I'm blessed for that intro. That's a lot.
It's the truth, dude. I've told you that on the phone before. I mean, we actually kind of connected the first time through a Clubhouse, randomly hopping on there, and you and Dave and me were in there, and I had heard your name and seen you on YouTube and all these areas and just never connected. And then we just started talking, and I said we spent too many hours together, but like sometimes when we talk and I mean, we've spent, I don't even want to say it, 4 hours on a call one day.
Yep.
Both working, but damn. Anyways, I love your mind and the way you think. And obviously, cause we could spend that much time talking. So want to bring that to everybody listening to the podcast.
For sure. I'm happy to be here. Can't wait.
How I always start, and we'll get rolling from there. How'd you find this weird little niche, PDR?
Well, I kind of was determined to be a mechanic when I was younger. Ever since I was 12 or 13 years old, I would do little things like brakes, just little small jobs for my relatives and neighbors. Then I went into the detailing. Didn't really like that. For some reason, I didn't like to wash, and it was just a one or two times that I explored that, I guess that technique, or at least somewhat, and I just didn't like it. So I said, I'm going to be a mechanic more so than a detailer.
Yeah.
And so since I had focus the entire high school, I knew what I was going to do. I knew what I wanted to do. I just pretty much listened to a couple of classes that catered to my passion. And anyway, fast forward out of high school, since I went to a community college, Montgomery Community College, and did the automotive program through there. And then graduated from there and decided to, look for a job. Thought it was about time to work at a dealership. Ideally, that's where I thought would be the best place to start and finish my career. They just seem to have everything together compared to just, a regular mom and pop auto repair shop.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
My dad worked for Mercedes-Benz, still works there today. And
as a mechanic?
No, not as a mechanic, as the security guard actually there.
Okay. Nice.
So anyway, he had an inside scoop of all the mechanics and all that stuff, because as you're there running the security, and it's actually it's a big dealership, but they have like 7 security guards. He kind of manages them.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
7 security. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So a little bigger than a standard security.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
I feel like our mall that has like 600 stores has like one dude driving around a golf cart or something.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's like so he manages that team.
Yeah.
But anyway, so when you're there and you're after hours, you tend to talk to a lot of technicians, and they were making sure I was on the right path. A lot of those guys went to UTI, and I didn't go there. I didn't have the funds to go there. So I was trying to get a backdoor way in. And since my dad worked there, I knew it was possible. So anyway, fast forward, I'm out of the trade school, and I'm literally at the Snap-on truck, give him a list of tools, and he gives me a price, and obviously I need help from my parents from the tools that I want to buy. So I get the whole list printed out. It's like $26,000 for pretty much a starter set.
From Snap-on, yeah.
Yeah, from Snap-on. Yeah. So I didn't want to go in there with like a Craftsman set. I kind of, I knew what I wanted to do for my career. So I was like, let's just start with the best and be done with it. So anyway, so my dad didn't like that idea, I guess. And he was like, well, how about this, Chris? I met a guy. His name was Brad Hoskins. And he's the owner of Dent Masters. And he said, I want you to interview with him because I really don't want you to become a mechanic. And I said, well, come on, man. For the last 4 years, I told you what I wanted to be.
Oh, I do, yeah.
So I don't know why is it confusing now? I don't understand this. So He said, listen, he said, if you don't like it, give it a year. If you don't like it, I'll buy all your tools. What, just that whole list that you sent me, I'll buy them all. Wow. So I said, okay, what's a year? I checked with my ASC certification and they said it lasts, I don't know, 3-4 years if I'm not in that practice. And I said, okay, I get free tools out of a year. I don't think I'm gonna like it, but it is around cars. And so
it means you'll at least make $26,000 in a year from your dad.
There you go. Right. There you go. And as I'm there, my dad is throwing me into these little small jobs at the dealership. So I'm, porter, I'm the security guard, and I'm just thrown in there. And so I'm able to talk to the technicians and I'm like, what would you do? They always say, I would get out of here. I wouldn't do no mechanical work. This is crazy. And I said, why? I always ask why, because I don't care about getting my hands dirty. I like that stuff. Yeah. But they were like, man, we're here on Saturdays. It's late hours. We're there from 6:30 to 6:30 at night, mandatory. So I was like, oh, I don't really like that. But anyway, so I said, why not? I said, let's go ahead and try this out and give it a shot. And so went through training with Dent Masters. I didn't know anything about it. Like as I was going to school to become a mechanic, I never knew about PDR.
Nothing.
And so I go in there fresh, but willing to learn. I'm just a sponge on anything. When I decide to do something, I do it 110%, even though this was kind of an afterthought. Like that's just my mentality. I am not the type of person that would get into something and just do it half-ass. And so
clearly, if you guys are seeing the video, you can see this setup you have going on here. The camera angles we got. This is one of the camera angles. The shop you got is just legit. Obviously, we could see that. If you're on the video, you can see that it's not half-assed for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why that drive is there, but I just, even with the repairs,
Okay. After all these hours of talking to you, I've never asked you this question. This is why I do the podcast, because I learned so much about people. But have you ever talked to your dad about why you did that in the past? Because that's like a pretty pivotal moment in your life. I mean, he had you detour down a road that has led you all the way to where you are today and given you. I mean, I assume, if I could put words in your mouth, given you so much in your life. Have you ever talked to him about that? Why he pushed you down that road? Because I mean, shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd have the balls as a dad to say that to my kid, go do this. And if it doesn't work, I'll buy all these tools. It's a $26,000 bet.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. My dad is very influential in my life.
Yeah.
I just gravitated to him because he liked cars. So I would always help him out in the garage. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I wouldn't do anything without his blessing. So that kind of, made it easier for him. But I started to realize
to steer you for sure.
Yeah. It made it really easy. It's like, well, think about this. And that conversation was short. But I realized long-term that he has expectations and, for me, and he ultimately wanted me to just be independent. Right. It was just that threshold. Yeah. And him being in a dealership and hearing the mechanics kind of talk about it. Yeah. I don't know about this, that, and the third. And then when you see a PDR technician, the first thing you think of, and my dad is not exempt from this. He says they make quick money fast. They make money fast. So he sees the guy come in
too.
Right. And the freedom. And so he saw the guy come in, he's done by 12 and I guess thought he made $1,000. I don't know what he made, but thought he made good money. And he said, I would love to get my son into this. And it was more than just, hey, try this out. Yeah. I mean, he talked to Brad maybe not hours, but several times. Mm-hmm. And so this was something that he put in place months before I came to him.
Damn, and dude, so, that's badass, dude. Honestly, that is so crazy. Like, because I look up to you as like such a smart businessman in this industry and how much you've known and what you've done with, and we'll talk about it more, but like your YouTube channel, your retail store, your ebook, all these things that you have. And it's like, you could be fixing transmissions at the back of a dealer right now. It's crazy. I love those moments. What's that? What's that?
I'll try to be the best transmission fixer though.
I know you would, but like those weird little moments in life that make such big changes. That's really cool. So Dent Masters, same. I think you mentioned this to me, same place, everyone knows Paul Corden that
Yep.
listened to this,
Paul
and
Corden.
same
Yep.
place, right? Same.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know when Paul came in. He was
Yeah.
obviously, I've been in there for several years, but he was
Yeah.
more part-time when I came in there. So he wasn't really, everybody looked up to him inside the company because at that time, the owner didn't really, well, I don't think he pushed at all when I was there. He was kind of already transitioned from
leading.
owner instead of owner operator type thing. So
let me switch you a little bit from going all in on stuff. Like you said,
yeah.
you'll be the best transmission fixer. You're gonna be the best.
I
PDR
try to be,
tech,
for my capabilities.
Yeah. Pushing yourself
everybody.
as hard as possible.
Yeah.
Your YouTube channel. I mean, I would never say I'm the best YouTube guy. I've never really been into video production or anything like that. But your YouTube channel is fantastic. 53,000 subscribes. I mean, that's a legit YouTube channel. That's not a PDR channel with like 900 people, family and friends and people in your area. 53,000 subscribes.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Just diving deep into the algorithm.
Yeah.
If I decided, I don't know, 1 year into YouTube that I can actually excel in this. I can actually dive a little deeper and make my videos a little more compelling. And I'm still learning. So
always.
I don't look at other PDR, YouTube videos. I compare myself to maybe the million sub. What are they doing? I watch channels that grow from 100,000 to 1 million in a year, and I'm like, what are they doing? And they've obviously figured out the algorithm, figured out a technique to kind of increase their growth. And I just basically try to dissect that and just conform it to the YouTube channel that I have. I don't have to do it. I mean, theoretically, I can just put out footage of, what I'm doing. But I feel like, at least for me in the editing and the filming, I don't know. I guess there's some enjoyment seeing more views and seeing your work actually get put out and
just growth, become right?
Mainstream. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm still looking at YouTube. Like I looked at the algorithm. I mean, the analytics today, and I'm like, all right, what can we do better?
Yeah.
And so that's what I keep asking myself. How can we do this better?
That's huge, dude, right there. I think there's a big lesson in a lot of things is not just looking at what other guys are doing or what your competition is doing and all that stuff. That's small-minded. But look at outside the industry. Look at outside guys that are crushing it in YouTube. Let's look at them. Or as an industry in general, or as just a small business owner. I mean, we have 5 guys and you're building something bigger out there too. And we could talk about that, but it's like looking outside the industry, like look at these multi-million-dollar businesses, or look at another trade, like a plumbing company in our area that has 50 people working for them and service all the, like, let's look at those people and what can we do that they do so that we can grow like that.
Yeah.
And I see that as a theme, throughout what you do. I know we've talked a lot about kind of where, I don't even know how to say it, where our industry is going, the future of our industry, things like that. And I know that you have taken a lot of stuff, like a lot of things that people are doing outside the industry, like a CRM system, for one, to be specific, that we've talked about. And how can you take those systems of quoting and scheduling and asking for reviews, that system, and incorporate that into your business? Is that where that came from too? That same type of mindset of like, let me look at something bigger than me and try to be that.
Yeah, somewhat. Back to the YouTube as an example. You have to look at who's on YouTube, right? And cater your content to that. And I went through a long kind of stint where no one was viewing my videos. And then I looked at, you had 1 or 2 that was, maybe went somewhat viral, that had a little bit more views, and you say, where do they fall off? There's a retention rate. And I just felt like that overall picture, if you can provide a better video that will cater to the masses on YouTube, just that demographic on YouTube, you have a better chance of the ultimate goal, which is showing what the capabilities of PDR. And at that time, that's all I wanted to do, was just show the capabilities of PDR, not to beat out my competition, not to get Dentless Touch name on there. It was literally to show what PDR is capable of. And I have another channel, Cars and Chris. It has some videos from 10 years ago. So I said the way I can do that is to record, use my skill of video editing and video recording, and use the platform YouTube to help the industry as a whole come up. I mean, I think that was kind of still to this day is my mindset. Byproduct of that, people, know me, and people do come in to the shop and say, hey, I saw you on YouTube, but I'm ultimately trying to bring the entire industry, some notice to the industry.
Yeah, 100%.
The way we want it to be recognized. We don't want a little fake commercial to say it just pops out. I mean, that would be all of our work just crushed in just a $150,000-$200,000 campaign for somebody. So
when you were talking about that, I did my PDR Launchpad call today, which is like basically a program for newer techs. You're familiar. We've talked about it. Newer techs coming out of training. How do you grow your business? And one of the things I told them about sales is that when you're going into a sales situation, or when you're going into something to try to achieve a result, is look at it from their perspective. Like when you're going into a dealership to sell them, it's what problem do they have that you can solve? And if you can solve that, then that's how you get business. Don't go into the dealership and say, how can I get you to work? How can I make more money? How can I be busier? Right? Like what is the pain point that you have, and I can solve it. And you kind of ask the same question with YouTube almost, is like, what do people watching YouTube want?
Yep.
Right? What do they want? Like who's on YouTube? And we all can have our own answers to that. But then you make the video to cater to them, but then also in a way that benefits you in the
PDR industry.
I think that's phenomenal. Like that's super smart.
That's like that's the recipe right there. You have to get them in and say, well, it may not be as easy as you thought, but here I'm gonna show you. Yeah. And if you think you can do this at home or whatever the case may be, that's okay.
Right. Because let's be honest, on YouTube, I use YouTube on a weekly basis when I can't figure out how to take the trim panel off of you name it car. Like go on YouTube. Someone made that fucking video. That's what it's for. It's DIY. It's learning. Like I chop down some trees in my front yard. How to chop down a tree. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, it's easy enough. I can do that. Like that's like literally those kinds of things. And so like most people are making YouTube videos to cater to, I guess, other dent company. Guys.
Yeah. And that's what it is. I mean, I would love to create videos for other dent guys, but it wouldn't play well with my overall mission for YouTube. I mean, it's okay to post in the Facebook groups of what you can, fix, but if only that small amount of people, that group of people are seeing it, what are you doing to the industry? Now, for me, some of those things in those groups push the limits of PDR. When I see the limits of PDR being pushed, Dave will tell you, I'll come in there, next car comes in, I'm like, you know what? Let's try it.
Yeah. I saw this guy do it.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I can do that.
Let's try it. And so, but anyway, and that's motivating for the industry, and that's needed. But on the YouTube platform, right, outside of the group is to motivate the people that are a part of this industry. YouTube is to bring people knowledge about the industry in a way that's technical and fun and catchy and can retain them through the start to finish of the video.
12 minutes or whatever, however long the videos are supposed to be algorithm wise, 12 to 15 or whatever.
Right.
Something like that.
And these are metrics that only YouTube has. YouTube doesn't know if it's a great video, right? They only have stuff like watch time, retention,
zeros and ones. That's it.
That's all they have. So if you play with those numbers, frequency of when you post, stuff like that, if you play with those numbers, you'd be surprised how YouTube will view your channel. In the segue into the CRM. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Down the CRM.
Yeah, the segue into CRM is that forward thinking that you were just talking about. Solving that problem for that particular dealership. And like I said, the segue into CRMs, when you go into that dealership and you already know their pain point is just getting cars frontline ready. And then you just ask them cues. What does that mean? And it could have a bottleneck in wash bay, right? And what we do in the CRM is we will say, hey, Johnny has a has a bottleneck in the wash bay. And so we always got an Indeed listing for techs and stuff like that. And so sometimes I go, hey, if I see a lead, that guy, just doesn't fit our business, but he's a detailer or wash guy, I may send him that lead. Or I may, when I reconnect with Johnny, I'm gonna say, hey, how's that your staff, the wash guys, how did you solve that issue yet? Or I'll refer them a third party, a contractor that could handle that issue for them. And it just keeps their mind present with us.
For sure. Yeah. So CRM, I feel like we should say, I don't know if everybody knows, a customer retention management system.
Yes.
Basically. And I brought that up because it's how do we move the industry forward? How do we professionalize the industry? How do we legitimize the industry? This is something that many industries, many companies have been doing for, can I say, decades?
Yeah.
At least a decade.
Probably.
Salesforce has been around for a long time.
For a while.
And that's pretty much, that's exactly what that system is. So how do we take that stuff and bring it in to our world? To go back to the YouTube and metrics and like thinking, basically asking the question, like, what can I do to help them? Like at a dealership or a body shop or anything like that. So as far as a customer goes, when we're marketing, when we're trying to grow our business and help more people, what is your thoughts on what they want? When we ask, like, what problem do customers have that they want solved? Yes, they want the dent repair. I get that. But on a deeper level,
I think it's at least here we've changed locations. I think we talked about that before. And what we're seeing is if we can get them comfortable quick, just they already have this stigma about repair shops.
Always.
And we just fall in that same category: body shops, repair shops, and we're more of the mom and pop auto repair. They're gonna get taken. That's just right. Bait and switch, just whatever it is that they've most likely experienced before. That's what you're dealing with. This,
and then on top of that, throw in how many people have gotten taken by gypsies in a parking lot, if I could say that. I know it's like maybe a bad word, but I mean, that's just what we call them. That's what we call them. I don't know what else to put.
I mean, they call themselves that. If you go on YouTube,
right?
Gypsies,
Exactly.
They call themselves.
I mean, a traveling dent guy, let's call him. Then you throw all those experiences in there. Someone got approached in a parking lot one time and got super thrown off. Whether they did it or didn't do it, they were like, "This is fucking weird." So throw that in there too. Yeah, it all gets mixed up and like in calling you now and trying to feel you out, and you got about a minute to show them that you're legit.
You're legit. And you would think some of the things that we do, it sometimes we just stand there and we just pause and just step away and just allow them to assess everything. Look at the shop. Look at the cars in the shop. Look at what's around you. We're not putting any pressure on you. We don't have buy this, expel this, that, and the third all in our shop. Either you want the repair done or you don't. We encourage you. Hey, you want to look for somewhere else? Hey, here's a list of our competitors that we feel as though it's going to do somewhat equally of a good job. How many people do that? And it's like they got to decide, okay, if they already given me these competitors, they know the pricing is the same. I tell them it's the same software, but you're more than welcome. I want you to feel comfortable. And then that's it. They tend to leave because they're already in that motion. And then they call, maybe that person doesn't answer or whatever the case may be. They're not as professional, but they're there. The skill aside alongside of it is there. But it's like, they go with the least path, the path of least resistance. And so if we just follow up the next morning, say, hey, Susie, you came in. We want to know if you made a decision. We talked about, removing that damage. Are you still interested? They go, yep, you know what? Let's go ahead and schedule. And it's simply because of that whole process. The price hasn't changed. We don't even discuss price. And so that's kind of what I've noticed what customers want. They just want someone that they can trust, right?
I think you said it good with the least resistance. Know and trust you, and least resistance. I think people don't focus on that enough. I mean, the biggest companies in the world, if we're going to go back to that, the biggest companies in the world focus on that. I mean, Amazon.com for the longest time had add to cart, blah, blah. And now I don't know how long it's been. It's been a long time, 5 years, who knows? Now they have the one swipe purchase thing. You don't even have to add it to the cart, because we know people add to cart, they leave their shit in the cart. I have 17 things in my Amazon cart right now that I might buy later. I don't know. We'll see. But like now they have the swipe to buy now. It's like, if those companies are working on reducing resistance to purchase, we need to be doing the same thing. And that's super important.
Exactly.
And play it, for the guys listening, you said, come to your shop. I don't have a shop. I'm mobile. Play the game that you can play, because I can play the least resistance game too in a different way. Cause I could say, I come to you. You just sit at home, you do your Zoom calls and run your business and do all the things you got to do. I'll come take care of it. You don't have to worry about it. Right. Play the game you got to play to make them like, know, and trust you. And if you're a mobile service, that means showing up branded shirt, trucks, hat, business cards, looks good. They've seen your face on the website before. You emailed them a reminder that you're coming, all those things, right? To look legit, professional, like, know, and trust. And then reduce the resistance for them to make an appointment and pay you.
Yeah.
Is that a lesson?
That's definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, image is in the last 5 years, image is so important right now. So, even if you are mobile, our trucks, I don't know if you can see that little truck down on the end.
Yeah. Right, the
black one. It's lettered up. Sits in the shop most of the time. Cause we kind of cold turkey stopped doing mobile.
If you don't have to do mobile, don't do it, but
right. So
for sure.
But everything is lettered. I don't have my uniform on now, but it's I don't know. It's presentation. It's all about, I always say the IG is so popular. And what you see on IG is this, every life is good, life is great. And so there's a standard. The standard has increased for everybody, for every business, right? I don't know. Amazon just changed their app. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I saw that
logo and there's some quick little small little things that they've done inside of the app to just make it easier. And you ask yourself, why do they have to do that? Like, they just need to keep up with the times, and naturally, unconsciously or subconsciously, they just, people don't realize that they have a standard, and it's just, I don't know. And that if you just meet that standard, they will just be comfortable. And then that's when they allow that information that you're telling them about the repair, about the pricing. They're just willing to work with you and accept what you say.
And that's why I think, I know Gene Fetty has said it before, and you just mentioned it, and a lot of guys have talked about it, like having a YouTube channel with your face on it that's showing and talking about it. If that customer comes in to your shop or calls me because they saw me on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and they saw me, the sale's done.
It's done.
It's like, it doesn't even matter the price. Like, you're getting it fixed. They'll drive an hour or whatever because they trust you. That's it.
Right.
And that's important.
I see a lot of people, they'll do a video like an ad, and that's great. But you really need to have a 6 or 7 minute video of you talking, just a little raw, not polished. Because that's going to bring that connection between you and the consumer, the customer. I think that is so important. I mean, people come and they think they already know me, and they're like, "Hey, what's up, Chris?" And I'm like, I'm lost.
Hi.
Who are you?
Hi. Yeah. How's it going? Like, did I quote your car? I don't.
So I saw you on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But to me, it's very important not to have a bunch of ads, especially on your website. Yeah. Just have some raw, uncut, like, videos of you working.
And the bare minimum, your face. Somehow, some way, your face has to be on there.
And your voice. Don't have somebody else.
Sure.
Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Don't get shy about, like, I did website reviews for all the guys in the Launchpad program. Every single one of them, like, dude, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Cool before and after pictures. That's awesome. Who are you? Why should I buy from you? I can't see your face. I don't trust you. I don't like you. I don't know you. Nothing. Like, and it's a process. I'm not, having a 6 or 7 minute video that's, decent and put up on there, and videos of you working, it all takes time. I get that, but move forward. Okay, go towards that. If right now you need something, next time you're at a dealership or next time you're at fucking home, have your mom, brother, wife, husband, whoever, take a picture of you with your arms crossed in front of your car, smiling.
Yeah.
Put that
Smiling.
on
Yeah.
your website. Start there and then
Yep.
get better. You know,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
said, your YouTube channel, 53,000 subscribers. How's that first video? Super
Oh,
good,
it's
polished,
yeah.
cut
Well,
up?
no,
No, of
heck
course
no.
not.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, let's just
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Ride along, I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, you can't know you can't know everything until you
Yeah.
go down the road of
A
doing
little
it.
deeper. Yeah.
The guys that don't do something until it's all the way perfect. I mean, it's never perfect, like you said. The YouTube,
Yeah.
you're still working on it. If you don't start fixing dents until you can fix everything, you're never going to start. Because I still
Right.
can't fix everything. Maybe last year I could.
Yeah.
This year's different.
Yeah.
I keep
Yeah, we're
watching
all
Bryce
learning.
Kelly's
Yeah.
videos, so
Yeah.
I
Then I
unfollow him and I'll be good.
yeah, for real, right? but to bring some context around it,
Yeah.
like YouTube has this thing called click-through rate, right?
Mhm.
And all on the YouTube forums, Reddit forums, my Discord forum that I dive a little deeper into YouTube.
Yeah.
Click-through rate, and what they notice is that if they have your smiling face on the thumbnail, it gets more click-through rate. It's like a 1% more in the click-through rate. So when you're sitting there and you're posed like this or whatever with the car behind you, right, you're gonna get more click through. And again, YouTube is just zeros and ones, right? So if they notice that 2 or 3% more people are clicking to this video, and that's what click through is, the meaning they share this thumbnail on the right side. And if someone clicks you out of the 10 options, then it gives you a percentage of your click through rate. And the algorithm, or at least they figured out a way that if you YouTubers have, if you put your face, not your back, your face, right, the front,
or not the car,
right, and you can do the car and a little ring around it.
But I mean, not just a picture of the car.
Yeah, not just a picture of the car, not just a picture of the dent.
Yeah.
If you kind of are on there, the click through rate is at least 1% higher. So yeah, you guys try that, and when you like, okay. YouTube is just a bunch of people searching, right? You're just trying to catch their eye. So there's little tricks you can do, right? Amplify it, add a little glow, right? You see Mike Toledo's videos. He's very good with Photoshop and stuff like that. I've been trying with the thumbnails. I just been I always go like just a regular thumbnail all the way to like what I think it might do, just so I can see the difference. All of this stuff is testing, learning, all of this stuff. So
it goes back to the same principle, though. If I can interrupt you again, sorry. I just like to clarify things to give people lessons. But we talked about this before, like walking into the dealership. How can I help you solve your problem?
Right.
That's what Google's fucking doing, dude. Google and YouTube, the entire
Amazon
purpose behind Google and YouTube search is, what is the best video or the best option that I can show this? So if you want to go to Google SEO, right, which is search engine optimization, and someone types in, which is all zeros and ones, remember, no one's looking at this and using human perception on it. It's literally analytics only. And someone types in dent repair in Sacramento, a big part of that is how many other people have seen that, right? Because then Google's like, ooh, that's a good option. Customers seem to like that option. How long do they stay on the site? Same thing with YouTube, right? Like the reason why that stuff goes up, more people click on it means more people click on it, because Google's point is like, how can I help these people get what they want? And these people want to see good videos and they want to stay on the videos for a long time, et cetera. So it all goes back to that. And I mean, obviously they're the masters at it because they own the world. But I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, but same type of theory behind that. The whole theory is like, how can I give my customers what they want? And their customers are attention span, because that's how they sell ads. And they give the best option for them when they search the YouTube. I don't know.
And
I just realized that. I just realized this right now. I'm like coming up with this as I go. But
that's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
That's in every business. If you solve a problem,
you're
going to make money.
It's just solve bigger problems, make bigger money.
Bigger money. That's this.
You're trying to solve big problems, man. You got your new retail shop. You got Dentless Touch. Man, I don't want to call them franchises. Affiliates.
Affiliates. That's what we're calling.
Okay.
Them.
Is it? Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know. Okay, cool. Affiliates. Maybe I remember that from our conversation. Let's talk about that. How you're kind of expanding your business that way. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want to know about it? Just
how are you? Okay. So there's a lot of guys that have a shop by themselves, right? And they're fixing dents. How do you, I guess, step away from that and then go into expanding? Because you have, how many dentless touches do you have?
Well, it's actually going to be 4 by next month.
Okay.
So we're 3 now. We have 4. Yeah.
That's a lot more than most people, or I don't know. I don't want to say anybody, but it's a big operation.
It's growing. Yeah.
So what does that model look like when someone is an affiliate? And I guess, okay, so hiring people on as employees. My dad started in 1991. That was how he was actually in a franchise, a franchisee, and he hired employees. And eventually employees leave because it's hard to retain an employee, paying him 40 to 50% of what he's billing, because you have to make money. It's hard to do that. You recognize that. I don't know if I think you've been down that road, but you recognize that. So you came up with a different model, right? How can you give these guys what they want and also get what you want? So it's like an affiliate program kind of thing. What does that look like? It's not a franchise, not a W-2 employee.
Yep.
What is it?
So, and this is still kind of in its infancy stage. But
we know you'll be worth 100 million someday, but right now you're not. I get it.
I don't know about that, but anyway, but yeah. So it's over the years, I try to develop this thing called the employee operating system. So basically, employee runs their own show, and I think that it's very important as people grow into this industry. If you want to just run them around, tell them where to go, that is going to be tiresome for them, and they're just going to want out. Everybody.
And they also make 45%,
and they make 45%
or whatever.
And so you have to give them other options. And so the team that we have here, they have to test out. They have to show that they can manage a shop, they can run a shop a certain way, and then we start to add more percentage as more responsibility comes to play. And I know, I rather have someone work with me that spent 5, 6, 7 years with me than to sit there and be my competitor.
100%.
Now, it just makes more sense. You don't create enemies. And I'm not saying a competitor is enemies. I mean, I have a competitor that has a key to my shop. So I don't think people are competitors. I think I always use this thing, we're all failing, but it's like, we're all failing. There's still people out here that don't know what PDR is. So we're battling between each other. And there's people out there that still don't know what PDR is. Like,
we're trying to take this like teeny tiny sliver of the pie, and I'm like, just grow the fucking pie.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's a better analogy. It's like, come on, yo. Like, if we work together, there'll be more work for everybody.
Right.
Like, I don't really understand why you're not.
And I believe to some extent, competition can breed that in some ways too.
Yes.
You get more.
But with us, it's hard because it's not like a competitor can be a $1 billion company and come in and do ads, and then you kind of can feed off of the popularity of the service. And so here you just got a little guy that does mobile fighting against the other guy that does mobile, and whoever's clicking PDR on Google. You're thinking about it completely wrong. When I go to my wife's event, there's about 100 people in there. I always try to ask, hey, you know what PDR is? You know what this is? Through conversation, and there's not a single person that knows.
Yeah, you told me that. So PDR. your wife outside, like parties or events, like people,
right,
like whatever she does with her business, and you'll go. You've literally done this, and you told me this. It was fascinating. You go around and ask them all, hey, you ever heard of dent repair, painless dent repair? No. These are our educated
customers.
people.
Like,
they have
these are
nice cars. They make good money. Like, those are your people. And everybody's like, no. Like, I would ask, like, I would be curious, like, if you asked them, if your car got damaged, like you came out in there and it looked like someone hit you with a door or something, where would you take it? Because it would go from 0 P and then almost probably to 90, 100%. People would say, I would go to the body shop, or go.
They didn't even say that. They say, I call my insurance.
Like, call my insurance.
There you go.
It's like, that's true too.
I don't even know who fixes it. And it's pretty easy in that kind of setting. Everybody wants to know what you do. So I tend to easily get through, I don't know, 30, 40 people. And I just say, okay, there's got to be at least 1 or 2 people that know about PDR. I can't talk to everybody, but I don't think anybody, and one will love, so they understand body work. Father or somebody has done body work, but they really don't know what PDR and that option is available, but they know window tinting. So
they do.
Where do we fail? That's what I look at. It came out around the same time.
The question that keeps me up at night, literally.
I'm sorry, y'all originators.
Yeah.
Y'all got it. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Okay. So the employee operating system, right?
Yep.
And you said it and you skipped over it pretty quick. And it's super true that, if you want more percentage, you need more responsibility.
Yep.
That should be true. Simple. If anybody's listening to this that works for another dent guy or doesn't even work in dent repair or do something, you want to make more money, do more shit. Like do more, take on more things. Yep. So anyways, that's your plan, is like, how can you make them affiliates? So continue down that path, because I'm super curious. I think other people are.
Yeah. So as this landscape is changing, right? We have internet, we have the social media platforms, we have submissions for estimates and all that stuff. So what I try to do is ease that for the tech. And so obviously 80% of his day, I want him pushing, right? He wants to be pushing, he wants to be generating revenue. And so if I can simplify that for him and put it together where he only has to click here and click there, and then I can make some money off of that system, and putting it together. And as that system gets used, it's kind of like the SEO stuff that you've done. As more and more people come to my website, they're going to blog posts, they're just engaging with Dentless Touch, the more leads we have to disperse to our technicians. And so we tried it, I think like 2 years ago, just a trial run. And the gentleman had a website and all this other jazz, forums and all that stuff. And I really wanted to keep his website running in tangent with mine, just to see the difference, and just my image, or the Dentless Touch, not mine. I mean, the whole team behind it, but Dentless Touch's image in that particular area. How can we climb? Just my knowledge around SEO, ads, and this, that, and the third. Anyway, we noticed that 2/3 of the best leads were coming from the Dentless Touch. So not only are the leads coming, but they're more qualified. His website, I guess, message, which I thought was decent, his website message just did not get the sale, if that makes sense. Like it was a lot of bumper stuff. It was just a lot of any and everything. Anyway, so we just built this platform to make it easier for them to be successful. Now, we didn't take that and we put it into different kind of aspects of the business, right? And so our techs have aspirations to grow themselves, have a few guys underneath them. So then we roll out an employee handbook for them. We do the training. We do meaning if they want to hire on a technician, we would come do the training. Obviously the technician or the trainee will come to us. We would do the training, and then they could keep pushing. The percentages are very, they're very competitive. Let's just say that, because I don't think I need to make, the company doesn't need to take one tech and make a ton of money off of that tech. Right. And so ideally you want 100 techs, and you want just a little small piece of the pie, but you want to nurture the 100 techs so that they grow and build 4 or 5 or 8 guys, whatever their ambition is. You just want to assist with that, if that makes sense.
No, it does. And that's, this crossed my mind, and I feel like I have to say it, but I think I know the industry at some point will consolidate to that. I mean, there's not a lot of guys out there right now. Yeah, it has to. There's not a lot of guys that there's still just room to grow. So more people into the industry and get trained and do that. And there's still more consumers that we can get. That's pie is so tiny. We can still grow the pie. At some point it gets harder to do that, because not 100% of people are going to care about dent repair or pay to get dent repair done. Okay. So eventually it has to consolidate. Probably it's going to be harder to go start a business. So you go work for Dentless Touch because he has all the leads and things like that. Anyways, that being said, I just found this funny. I don't think we've ever talked about this, but a lot of guys don't want to work for a percentage. They're like, I want to own my own thing. I want to do this. I don't want to work for 70% to somebody or 80% to somebody. And it just crossed my mind that, like, running a business, let's say we're making $20,000 a month in gross revenue, and then we pay to do Google ads, and then we pay someone to market it, and then we pay someone to edit our videos, and then we pay someone to do our CRM system. And it's funny because, like, we'll take the 20 grand and we'll spend $5 grand a month on all and that learning stuff
to try to learn, start from to reinvent the wheel.
But then someone says, oh, you want to come work for me for 75%? You're like, fuck no. Even though
exactly.
it's the
It's weird.
exact, if you 20 grand and you spend 5 grand to make
Yeah.
15, if you wouldn't work for somebody for 75%, it'd be the same exact numbers. And that just
It's
crossed my
crazy.
mind. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
And if that person
Yeah.
does it better and it's more efficient and you don't have to do it and yada, 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 and you can still take the name that you built and use it, I think that's pretty interesting. And I think
Yeah. I
I like
mean,
the way you're going with that.
yeah. I mean, we offer, if you're out of town, we
Yeah.
offer the phone support. Stuff
Mhm.
still gets scheduled. Stuff still gets handled.
Mhm.
If we have a technician, we can dispatch another technician to your dealers if
Yeah.
that's needed.
Mhm.
Obviously, accounts receivable, accounts payables are taken care of as far as the admin role of that. A lot of times you're on the road and it's, hey, I need a W-9 form, I need this, I need that, and that's a quick text message. We actually have a group messaging system that we use, and our admin staff is on that. And so when you need something quick, they get it back to you in 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
And so
usually.
you just got that backup support without paying someone $2,000 to sit in the office and answer
Yeah, I
your
didn't even
phone.
mention that as an expense.
Yeah, right.
Having
And
your
so,
own person just for your company instead of the shared
and
person.
how does that look, right? When you can literally just say, hey, I got a lot of work. Can you guys grab the phone? Boom. It automatically gets transferred. That's a quick text message, and all your appointments are scheduled. And the phone is answered. You know, he's out on the job right now. Can we give you a call back? And it's like, I don't know. I've been able to kind of carve out my little market share just by being available. And obviously I can't be everywhere. So I have to hire staff to help with that. So yeah, we even have 24-hour calling service. So you can call us and it goes to a 24-hour
and someone answers the phone.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
That's good.
But when you're thinking about that dent.
What's that?
I said, when they're thinking about that dent, we got you.
When they think about it. Yeah, that's true. Cause I can't tell you how many times I got free quote requests through my website at fucking 2:37 in the morning. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Just got home from the bar apparently and found the dent in their car.
No, I don't think the leads are great there. So
no, maybe not.
You know, we kind of turn it off and on just to see the difference.
Yeah.
But
you're trying
it's not a great, and but for a different market, like maybe where you're at or New York, where the city never sleeps, it may work. And so everything is tied in. You wake up the next morning, the leads are in, and still some people don't want to go to a website and fill out the form. So the way we kind of coached them through it. So that person just stays on the phone. Hey, I can walk you through it. Let me send you a link to your phone real quick. They send them a link. Okay, so you want to go to the top? Okay, click there, and then at, I guess, 1:00 in the morning.
Customer service. Yeah. So you guys see what I'm saying now, right? When I said that this dude like knows what's up and knows his industry and is one of the smartest guys in it, right? I mean, this is part of it. We haven't even talked. I mean, you and I've talked for hours and hours. This is one aspect of it. It's just like,
definitely.
This is stuff that we haven't even talked about, the 24-hour phone service thing with all the hours we talked. Never heard you say that. Nope. Never thought about doing that. It's pretty cool.
But not just do it, right? You got to know it's working.
Yeah.
So you got to test it. Right. Exactly.
Test it, track it,
and we track
it.
Right. We track it all the way down to the person gets a website and then they call us. Right. And then we can see what did they do on our website. We can see the call comes in and then we go say, okay, what's the ROI on that? Right. So we can say, all right, that customer that actually called at 2:00, what did he actually provide? Did he provide a sale or was it just an estimate and just took it and ran with it?
Yeah.
Right. And so we do that on everything from our social post, our YouTube, our ads from Google, our social media ads. We do it for everything. And you will be, when you track that stuff, you will be surprised what actually gets you the leads. The leads that you want. Yeah. Now that's my special sauce because I've spent 2 years doing it. But
can you tell us how you do all that and write it down for us so we can copy it? Right. But that's what I'm talking about. Like that's the kind of stuff. Like that's where, if we talk about, and I've talked about it a lot, moving the industry forward, becoming more professional, getting more business, hiring people, all that type of stuff. Like this is what it takes. This is what
it does.
Big business does. This is what they do.
Yep.
They track the stuff down to the numbers and they down to the analytics of it and figure out how can I tweak something and make it 5% better to make X amount of more money. That's what they do.
I mean, let's just fast forward like 5 years from this industry, right? Yeah. Google obviously wants you to double your ad spend in 5 years, right? We are not getting an increase in revenue, in pay, double, right? What Google wants. So if you're spending $2,000 or $3,000, you can look back 5 years and you weren't spending nowhere near that much money in ads.
Dude, Google Ads
right?
5 years ago. Oh God, if I could
cheap,
go back, man.
Right. Whew. And that's when it was actually expensive, people thought. So it's not even like 10 years ago, it was like, all right, cheap. You should have jumped on it then.
Yeah.
But 5 years ago, it was like, it's popular. Everybody's using Google Ads. Yeah. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And so obviously Facebook is going to do the same thing. And so you do have to get on different platforms, TikTok and stuff like that. Try the ads, see if it's bringing you the right clientele. But, you know, obviously the tracking comes in. But at the end of the day, these companies are there to increase your ad spend with them, plain and simple, right? That's all they're trying to do. And so if you do not spend time trying to figuring out where your customer, your best customer is coming from, you're going to be the person spending, you know, the ROI is going to be negative. And it's probably already right now. Now, some marketers are different, right? They you don't have a lot of competition. But again, you know, I don't know if any of you guys are not doing AdWords, when as soon as you start doing AdWords, they call you. They want you to spend more money. They want to show you how to
optimize the spend,
how to do this. They want you to go from 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 to 2,500. Meanwhile, the same pricing is there.
I mean, that's all well and good though, if you know it's returning more dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know you're getting a 5x return on Google Ads and you spend 100 to make 500, do it. And you kick it up to 500 and you make 2,500. Keep going. You spend 1,000 to make 5,000. At some point, it won't work. But you won't know that if you don't track.
Yeah, true. Right? Yeah. And it's not realistic. You mean to tell me I can put in $1, get $2 out? I do it all day long.
Right.
But that's not it's not a guarantee for Google.
Correct.
It's becoming harder and harder to get that $2 out. It's coming to more like $2.10. Now you got to figure out that 10 cents, depending on the volume, can it actually pay, you know, for you to work? Is it time well spent optimizing these ads week over week? Or you just switch up and do something a little differently.
Yeah. Or organic, try to organic rank SEO.
Organic search.
YouTube ads are still pretty cheap. Retargeting is pretty cheap. Do you go down those roads? Yep. Right. Those are and that's like that's kind of the exhausting part of owning and running a business, right? It's like you're trying to get like new tools and keep up with the way things are changing. They're like, everything's aluminum now and you got sharp tips and then glue pulling this and like all these things you need to do. And then you're like on the business side, you're supposed to like try to keep up with all of that stuff too. It could be overwhelming. No doubt about it.
Can I quickly do a plug?
No.
If your permission?
Of course, man. What you got?
So we have a community server that I talk about this stuff. This is why this is all set up here. So we can quickly just turn this on at any given time.
Yeah.
We did a live repair on this Volvo. And we're bringing kind of this Zoom, this Facebook group, we're bringing all that under one platform, hoping the community can quickly get their answers, their questions answered quicker. Meaning there's always somebody. I mean, I think Dave's in our server right now. You can just jump into his channel, ask him a quick question, and they'll answer it. So it is literally dentlesstouch.com/community. So just sign up and come join us.
I'll put that on there. That's cool. So how does it work? You got like office hours in there? People. We're
not on at 2 a.m. We're not on at 2 a.m, but we're hoping to get a ton of people on that will be on 2 a.m. I mean, Dave is somewhat on it after hours. I jump in around 9 o'clock. Me and Dave have conversations on it. So if we see someone, we kind of jump in and go, "Hey, what's up?" And then we jump out and have our conversation. So instead of me and Dave talking on the phone and calling each other, we're in there. So you can actually see it. My staff is starting to transition to be in there too. So if they need me, they can just jump into we have a Dentless Touch channel in there that only obviously the staff or affiliates would be in there. They can just quickly ask me a question. Simple. And it makes it easier for us to do that because literally I just jump into the music channel, listen to music. Anybody needs me, they just jump in the channel and ask me a question. So I'm already doing what I normally do every day, which is try to listen to music.
Yeah.
But between me, Dave, Taylor, and Ryan, I mean, somebody's from Dentless Touch is always in there trying to help out best we can. And obviously we stream live, very easy. Dave did just massive, crazy quarter panel on this Volvo live yesterday. So,
dude,
yeah,
that's
just trying to
awesome,
create
dude. There's not very many people doing live stuff.
No,
People are
no.
scared for that.
And
sure.
we're gonna
That's
stream it to
badass.
YouTube, but YouTube comments is different, right? So we would have to look in the comments. It's very hard for us to repair something, and we got to look in the comments
Right,
at the
sure.
questions,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the server allows you to just speak what you want. Hey, Dave, what tool is that? And then he can just comment, oh, that's a such and such tool.
Yeah.
And he can keep working, right? And so
that's cool.
Anyway, it's a great platform. We're at 66 members, I think, right now. 66, 70 members right now. And we just launched it like a week ago. So that was pretty cool. And it's free,
man. I like it.
Yep.
I like it. That's awesome. So, okay. So that's something you do for the industry, access, knowledge, etc.
Yep.
You wrote a book, dude.
Yeah.
New York Times bestseller. No, I'm just kidding. What's that?
I got to credit my wife.
Yeah. Oh, did okay. Like, that's awesome. I didn't know she helped you with that. So did she like write it for you or like?
No. Well, yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, you talk to some other writers, and it's like they jot down notes, and then the rest of the person writes the whole thing, and now they're the author. But Dave went through it, and wrote a decent amount of it up, and then I went through it and kind of tweaked it a decent amount, kind of like half and half, me and Dave, and then my wife came through it, and she
made
just
made
has
it sound
that
good,
eye, man. Yeah, made it flow, made it. I mean, I was just like, golly, so just made me brought me all the way down.
That's all right, man. Hey, you're good at other stuff. All right, come on now. I can't write either. I don't wwrite any blogs or anything for my stuff. I pay somebody to do all that because I'm just not good at it. I can talk all day. You want me to write something? No. I missed that part of school, that grammar stuff.
Right? Yeah, me too. So I understand. But yeah, she helped out a lot. I said, honey, I need you for 2 days. And so she took off her work for 2 days, and we sat on our kitchen table writing. We pretty much rewrote this whole book.
Damn.
And she just brought out everything that I wanted to really say in this book, where everything made it flow, made it make sense. Because when I'm speaking, it's obviously different than writing.
Oh yeah.
And so anyway, she just, she brought it to fruition. Like I really think the book is amazing for what's out there. I don't think there's anything. So
what is it?
So it's an intro to PDR. So it's a basically our 2-day course. It's pretty much everything we teach in that 2-day course.
Nice.
Yeah. So we don't, in our 2-day course, we don't go over glue pulling. And we think that's more of a skill for further along. It's just that technique is easier when you know how to fix it. Yeah.
Okay. So who's the better for? Like, if I have a question of like, do I want to get into PDR or I am in PDR and I want to get better? Like, who does that?
Oh yeah. So the book is for the person that just maybe is thinking about PDR, and there's they're tired of just going through a bunch of videos, because the videos there's no start to finish video on YouTube, and even then it's hard to do a hour-long video or sit through that. It's just hard.
Yeah,
right. Sure. And the videos I've watched, they're missing a couple of things. They're it's just a video. So I don't know what it is. Maybe the platform, if it's more of a tutorial, maybe someone sells a video course, that will probably be better than just gouging YouTube. You always miss something important for any YouTube videos. I learned how to weld, and it's like on YouTube, but like there was so much stuff missed on every video that I watched. I was like, why doesn't someone put a tutorial? Oh, I know why. It's gonna be an hour long. Like that's why they don't.
Way more than an hour, I'm sure.
Probably way more than an hour.
20-hour long videos, I feel like.
Yeah. So not saying that there's nothing out there that has a tutorial style, but it is designed for someone that is thinking about PDR, and for literally $60, they want to just invest a little bit, kind of learn, see what it takes to your first 10 days to learn PDR.
Nice.
At a very inexpensive entry point.
That is cheap.
Yeah. Then from there, and we say 60 now, we're thinking about increasing it to 89. So don't be
$100.
Yeah.
You learn what you need to learn. It's pretty inexpensive, considering right now the only option is going
2-day course. Yeah.
I mean, the only option industry wide.
Yeah.
Say I want to learn PDR. You can go on YouTube and find some stuff there. You can go to some physical PDR training sites and sign up for memberships, or you can go to physical PDR training or your 2-day course.
Yeah, our 2-day course
all
is
pretty expensive propositions.
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean,
Okay.
our 2-day course is I think it's $1,700.
It's more than 100, I can tell you that.
Definitely more than 100. But I mean, we still get, I mean, people who go to our course get a ton of value out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, and that course is designed for someone that doesn't know about PDR, and we take them through again another 10 days. So we give them homework for the next 10 days. And it's designed for you to come back, which I think is the best learning. We all didn't take a 2-week course and all of a sudden we're PDR techs. So why is that even an option? I don't really understand that. So if that's not the way you learned, how do you sell that? I don't understand. So in that sense, we say, okay, you take the 2 days, we give you a 10-day course, you follow that along. Once you go right through that 10-day course again and again and again, maybe 30 days spent, then you come back. You're going to come back with a ton more questions. You're going to know metal movement. You're going to have some difficulties, and we're going to coach you through all of that for another 2 days. And I mean, that's the way I learned. I think it's a better experience. So you're not there for I've never been through a 2-day course, right? I went through Dip Masters, which is a 3-month course, which is pretty much in the morning. They gave me kind of what I needed to do, and then they left me alone the entire day. And they left me to figure it out, because at the end of the day, when you're on that car, you have to figure it out. No one else. I mean, we're trying to create a platform that can help you, but we can't push it for you. You have to know how that feels. And so the only way to know how that feels is time on metal. We can't expedite that. In 2 weeks, you cannot expedite that. In 3 weeks, I'm not just jumping on the 2-week course or the 3-week course or 1-month course. Like it just takes time. Yeah. And so we want to encourage people. So that's our 2-day course. This is the thought around our 2-day course.
Yeah. No, that makes sense, dude. I get what you're saying. That's the ebook, and the ebook is basically the 2-day course in written format.
Yeah. Okay. And it does have I think it's like 8 or 9 videos, short
links out to videos.
Yeah, video.
Oh, it's an ebook actually, isn't it?
Yep.
Not a physical book. Ebook.
Not a physical book. It can be. We're talking to Amazon to print it up and do that.
But come on, man. Then you can't track what page people stop reading on, though. Come on,
man. You love my tracker.
I know that. This guy stopped reading at page 17. All right. Why is that? Let me optimize that.
But then again, it goes back to that retention, right? The CRM, right? The program. So I would then call and say, hey, what's going on? Did you enjoy the book? Obviously, you start with the most basic questions. You enjoy the book? It's okay. I read through it, right? And I can see that they didn't read past page 7. And so I'm like, okay, what do you get? What did you get stuck on? Did you get tools? What is causing, you to stop?
How do we reduce the resistance?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. And, he goes in or they don't, and we're just trying to eliminate that. And normally that spirals into them either coming through our 2-day class or jumping in our community now. Right. And this was the purpose of the community. We can just say, hey, come into our community. Dave's going to be doing live repairs. I'm going to be doing live repairs. And just get some excitement around this career shift. And that's, you talk about it a lot. It's that mindset. And the only way we can be in their head and keep that mindset similar to what they thought of when they purchased the book is to have them be in the community. That's the goal. And once they're talking about it, we have all of our trainees, which we train about, we're at like almost 30 right now, 32 or something, that came to our 2-day course already. And anyway, they're in there sharing their story, sharing their progression, and that motivates the next guy. And so we're really liking that that platform really to help with the mindset and help with the passion that we all have for this. You got to be passionate to be in PDR. I think I'll come out and say, I think there's easier ways to make money. I mean, there is. I can be a marketer and probably make more.
Yeah,
Let's
for sure.
be real.
For sure. This is why I'm telling you.
So
Guys,
there's a passion behind this.
you guys are listening. This is why I like this guy. Telling you. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, I think we're over an hour now. I'm not even tracking it. It's been past that. I usually try to keep it an hour because, like you said, attention span, right?
Yeah.
I think people are listening to the end of this podcast. I think they are. But we talked a lot about the future. I love talking about the future of the industry. I like to end the podcast with that, and I'll lead you down a specific path of the future of the industry.
Okay.
The future of the industry, in shops.
I mean, I think I know where you're going with this question, so I'll answer it accordingly.
I have nothing behind it. I'm just curious what you think about the future of the industry. Is it mobile? Is it shops?
Just the future? Oh, okay. Well, if you taking those two, I think a shop is important. A shop shows legitimacy. It shows professionalism. It has to be a shop, whether you are mobile from your shop, but there has to be a shop. I question the guys that are mobile that do 10-hour repairs in someone's driveway. And I say that because I have a guy servicing my furnace, and I can only imagine he's there for 3 hours and I want him out of my house. I can only imagine a guy there for 10 hours. I'm just literally going to be like, dude, you have to come back tomorrow. I'm sorry. And so,
too long.
Yeah, you just been here too long. So you have that aspect of kind of the look. And I just think, I think there's a standard that the customer is not going to tell you that, oh, I would rather come to a shop. They're not going to say that. Apple took the headphone jack, right, from you, took it away. You don't need that. And everybody, oh no, I need the headphone jack, yada, yada. Now it's an afterthought. You never knew you didn't need it. And so it's the same thing. You would be surprised. I literally have customers tell me, yeah, I don't want a guy at my house. Can I just come and drop it off? Well, yes, you can. No problem. And we'll give you a lift back home or a loaner car. So it's like, maybe it's the clientele that shift, right? Yep. But if the clientele compares you to the dealership, or even some of these smaller repair shops, they're getting creative with a lift back home, virtual estimates, stuff like that. They're becoming more of a polished dealership, right? The bar is set at like the dealer, right? Let's just say. And so if that's the bar, like no matter what you do, if you're working on the car, the bar is set at the dealership. We have this company out here called Mars to Cars, right? I think that's the name of it. And they're 20 or 30, 40, I don't know, 100 repair shop technicians. And they're all mobile. They do brakes, they do this. But that company, all of their cars look like they just ran over. Like it just doesn't present well. I don't know of them. I just see their cars, and literally one day was like, what is this? Yeah. I see them all around. What is this? And okay, they do mobile repairs. So maybe fleet vehicles and stuff like that, they're winning in that regard. Yeah. But the bar is at the dealer. Mm-hmm. And so if you can get close to that bar,
and you don't know what they're charging either, what their customer base is or that type of thing. Who knows?
I mean, you can get an idea from the customer base just based off of
their
images
car.
And off their car. I mean, if you accept Mars the car is coming in, it didn't look like a too polished of a technician there. It was like wear whatever you want to wear. Maybe that was just that guy.
And that's the thing behind the price guide too, though. I don't know if it gets talked about enough, or I don't hear it or whatever. I mean, yeah, price guide's great. Get the pricing guide, get the full ticket, all that stuff. But there's a lot behind that too. Yes. And that's a lot of stuff I work on with my clients, my one-on-one coaching clients, things like that. Is like, there's a lot behind it. You don't just get to be like, you know what? I'm charging $154.50 per 1-inch dent now. You can't just part of it's mental, but you have to back it up with your image too.
Yep.
You have to.
And people will follow. I say this, I give this example all the time. I say, if you're sitting outside of 7-Eleven, you're just hanging out. Yeah. Guy pulls up in a Lambo. It's like, yo, I got this book, amazing book, changed my life. You're going to buy the book. You're going to try to whip up $20 to buy the book. You're not even going to question the guy. Another guy pulls up and it's this busted Honda, blah, 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 blah. He hasn't purchased his Bentley yet or whatever. And he pulls up and he's like, yo, this book changed my life. You want to buy it? You're going to say no. You're going to quickly say no. That alone, that guy got $20. He literally can buy a Lambo and just do that, or and just do that in every 7-Eleven. And I guarantee you he'll sell one book at every 7-Eleven. you know? And so, like you said, that package has to be there, you know? And so when you look at the dealership, you know, my wife, she loves the dealership. And honestly, I don't go anywhere else. It's sad, but she loves the dealership. She loves the environment. She can sit and do her work and all that stuff.
They got the cafe, they got the Wi-Fi,
all
they
that
got
stuff.
kids
Wi-Fi, they
kids
take it to the
play
mall,
thing.
all of it. You know it.
I do.
And so I'm over here paying over here. It's
Yeah.
$163 an hour
For labor, right?
for labor rate. $163 an
Got
hour.
that
You
DC
all,
money, man. Come on.
yeah,
Now.
right. And so I'm like, my wife wants that, wants to pay that. You have to take a step back, right? I can't just be like, no, I'm not paying that. I have to take a step back and say, why does a very successful, professional, you know, woman want to pay that dealership price?
Yeah.
There's more to that picture. And I already told her, you don't have to go to the dealership to get your tire changed. Like I can, you know, I got the guy, and then I thought about it. I was like, never mind. Like I have to do it. Like you're not going to go into this mom and pop, save yourself probably $150. Now we're not rich by any means. And you know, I definitely want to save $150, but I thought about it and I say, I literally have to take a time out of my day, which would be an hour or two by the time I go home, switch out cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, just go to the dealership. Like it's going to be right. It's
I'll push a dent. You do that. It's a wash.
Right. Exactly. But I said, she goes out her way to this dealership. It's just not a dealership that's right up the street. It is literally go through the city and there she is.
That's impressive. So it's like you got to go there and just fucking take notes next time you're there. Like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah, right. And that's what sells them.
Yeah,
it is basic sales. I mean, when you look at CarMax, the no haggling pricing, you gotta look at that entire picture, right? They go there. There's a no haggle prices there, but it's a very polished dealership compared to anything that was out prior to CarMax. Now everybody's trying to do this no haggling pricing and stuff, but they don't really understand. No haggling means there's going to be no pressure on their end.
Right.
When you
they don't care which car you buy. If you spend $100,000 on a car or $12,000 on a car, they don't care.
Right. And they're not salesy.
Yes.
They don't need to be salesy.
Transaction.
We have everything. Right. That's it. Exactly. And so when you go into a dealership, they may have no haggling pricing, but you don't get that same vibe. And so they missed the boat. They just don't want to haggle with the price. It's like, nah, the haggling
like the dude's driving a 98 Astro van and doesn't have a shirt that says his name or a hat and doesn't shave and wears tattered shoes. And he's like, I'm charging $150 a day.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't work that way. You could try, play the game, but it won't always work that way, like you said.
Yeah. And it depends on your customer base, right? Yeah, I mean, it depends on your customer base.
I mean, you can make your customer base, right?
Yeah, and so what we noticed is that there's the standard, that bar has been a little bit higher since we moved to this shop, and our ads and just everything being polished. Yeah. They do require you to continue that throughout the process, right? So from the time they call, that, you know, if you're going to be polished with your ads and polished on the website, and they call and no one's answering, you're lost them. You're going back. Yeah. And so it needs to be from like start to finish. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, I think, and then it helps for scalability too, right? And so I don't know. I go out to California sometimes, and a lot of people are just wearing Chucks, and that's acceptable out there, I think. I was at the Mazda, I think it was the lead designer of Mazda. We were hanging out at the corporation over there, and he was showing us all this stuff. But anyway, he had jeans and Chucks on.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's okay out there. Like I'm not, you know, you just have to read your clientele.
For sure. Totally. I know we can talk for hours longer. I maybe we'll do a round 2 at some point. I'm gonna cut it off. I'm gonna cut it off there. I think we're like hour 20 or something like that. That was so much good info in there, dude. I appreciate you sharing. There was nothing that you held back on, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Do you have anything else? I mean, the dentlesstouch.com/community. That's awesome. Go check it out. If you're curious and need more info, you're there to answer it. I'm going to go check that out too, because I didn't even know that. That's brand new, right?
It's brand new. We released it a week ago. We were just setting everything up, but it works when more people are there. And so we're trying to take a lot of the Facebook guys and just come in. We're going to have, if you just want to come in and listen to music, Like instead of just open up your Spotify, come in. You never know. And that's what we need. I think the industry as a whole needs to come together more. And just
I'm working on it.
grow. Yeah.
Trying.
And
We all are.
yeah, and I appreciate it, Corey. You're bringing the industry together with your knowledge. And you're just sharing so much valuable information. I mean, that's what is so important to grow this industry. I feel like, I feel like we've been kind of like hidden on purpose, like
behind the curtain, dude, just like
hide,
like in the early
purpose.
90s.
Like
we'd hide
built
behind the curtain. Yeah.
Like we built the curtain. Like, and so I don't know if you guys were aware, but it doesn't look like we're winning from that. So I think it needs to be more visible. The business, even getting in, if we have more dent guys in this business, then that means more relatives know what we do. People are interested. It's the same thing with window tint. People will say window tint is saturated, but yeah, only the strong survives. And that means the creative, that means the determined will survive. And if you're that determined person, you have nothing to worry about. Like you said, just a bigger pie. Like just we need to get a bigger pie, not trying to fight over the same slice. And this is what you have during the hailstorms. You got a certain amount of people who want to get their car repaired, and you have 400 dent guys coming into this one area, right? And so you're fighting over this pie, but that's not in the retail setting. That you have to look at that completely different. And so if you are coming from the hail and this competitive drive, like you have to look at it differently. And that's more of like put your energy into exposing PDR for its benefits and watch the profits come and basically add value to it. So
true that, man. It's a great way to end it. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate.
Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Check him out there. I know. I mean, you're everywhere: Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah,
YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know when is this podcast coming out. I would like to talk about the Dream event.
Oh, it's coming out in 2 weeks. Ooh, it might be. When is the Dream event? What day?
The 17th of April.
Oh man. Well, let me see. I'll tell you exactly when it's coming. They're gonna come out here as we spitball at the end. The 7th.
Okay, so yeah, so I will be. Can I do another plug?
Of course, yeah. This is a plug for the community, though. It's not just for you. It's for the industry for sure.
Yeah. So the Dream event is April 17th, and many contributors to the industry will be speaking at this event. Corey, are you speaking at this event? I think you are, right?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. Okay, well, I'm gonna get Corey to speak because I want to hear him. So, but anyway, a lot of people are gonna be speaking. Paul Corden, Matt Moore, a lot of industry. I don't want to call it industry leaders, right? I just say
I know that's what else.
Like I don't want to. I don't know. I don't
label the recognizable names. Come on, let's be honest.
But if you're spitting fire, you're spitting fire.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't matter, man. Like I would love an ad guy or a CRM guy from another place to come in and just spit his fire because he's going to look at it completely different. Anyway, long story short, come to the Dream event. Don and Dave.
Yeah.
Don and Dave have put together this expo. It's a kind of online based expo. Tickets are $75, I believe, now, but I think it's well worth it. I'll be speaking at it, and Paul and all the other names that you guys know of so much. So please help them out. This is, I think Don and Dave are trying to propel the industry in their own way. And so we have to support each other if the industry is going to grow. So if you're not going to buy a ticket for yourself, then buy it for a technician that's kind of new to the industry. He will get so much value out of this this expo, this convention, I guess. So that's what we're doing. We're giving away tickets. It's on our Discord. So if you're on there, we're giving away, I think, like 3 tickets on there. So
nice.
But yeah,
that's
just
awesome.
Yeah.
Can I put you on the spot now? What are you talking about?
Well, you helped me out with the topic. So.
I know I did. I don't know if you want to talk about it though.
Yeah, so it's called Overcoming Adversity. That's what my speech is going to be about. So
that's gonna be good. I'm excited to hear it. I know I led you down that topic. I don't know exactly what's gonna come out, but I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, I'm in the midst of writing it as we speak. Nice. So
10 minutes is it's 10 minutes, right?
It's 10 minutes.
That's
I'm
hard
confused. I got to call
to
him. I
be-
think it's either 10 or 15.
That's hard to be that short.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Right.
it's tough.
Yeah.
For
I have
sure.
6 topics to talk about. And,
Okay.
he designed it that way. So, retention and
Yeah.
or attention span, I should say.
Yeah.
But I think you'll get a lot from it. And again, jump on our community. We'll go
Yep.
more in depth. Hopefully, Corey becomes a active member on that bad boy.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think it'd be
Consider
nice,
it.
man. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate you taking the time and
That's fun.
allowing me to come on your platform and to share my story.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, thanks, Corey.
All right.
Appreciate it.